Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you've been working with Python at all, you've probably run into dictionaries. They're awesome for storing data, right? But, getting that data back out, doing it the right way, the safe way, that's the real trick. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down all the key ways to access data in Python dictionaries. We're going to make you a pro at this. All right, let's just jump right in.
Okay, so first things first, what even is a dictionary? Honestly, the name is perfect. Just think of a real dictionary on your shelf. You look up a word, that's your key, and you get its definition. That's its value. It's that simple. A unique key points to a specific value. And in Python, this is just a super handy way to keep related bits of information all bundled together.
All right, so how do we actually pull a value out of one of these things? Well, the first and most common way you'll see everywhere is what I call the direct approach, using square brackets. And it really is super simple. Take a look. We've got this dictionary here, this dict. To get the model, all you do is type the dictionary's name, and then in square brackets, you put the key you're looking for, in this case, the string model. And just like that, Python goes, okay, I see the key model, and the value for that is Mustang. Boom. The variable x now holds the string Mustang. It's quick, it's easy, and most of the time, it works like a charm. But, and this is a big but, it only works if you're absolutely sure that key exists. So yeah, that leads us right to the big question. What happens if you try to grab a key that just isn't there? Trust me, this happens all the time, and learning how to handle this gracefully is what separates clean, professional code from code that just, well, crashes and burns. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about writing safer code and how to handle those missing keys. This is a really crucial skill. This right here is the whole story in a nutshell. On the left, you've got our direct square bracket approach. If you ask for the color key and it's not there, your entire program just screeches to a halt. You get a big, ugly key error. Now, look at the right side. We use this other thing called the .get method. We ask for color, and when it's not found, no crash. It just calmly returns none, and your program just keeps on chugging along. See the difference? It's huge. So this .get method is basically your new best friend when you're dealing with dictionaries. It stops errors by returning none if a key is missing. But here's the really cool part. It doesn't have to return none. You can actually tell it what to return instead by giving it a second argument, a default value. Take a look at this example. We're asking for the student's grade. But if there is no grade key, instead of getting back none, we've told it to give us the string not available. How cool is that? This makes your code so much more predictable. Okay, so besides .get, there's another way to play it safe. You can be proactive about it. Think of it as looking before you leap. You can just ask Python, hey, is this key even in the dictionary before you try to grab its value? And you do that with the in keyword. So this little piece of code here is literally just asking, is the string model one of the keys in this dict? It gives you back a simple true or false. That way, you can build an if statement to only access the key if you know it's there. All right, so we've nailed down how to get one item at a time. That's awesome. But what if you need the whole shebang? What if you want to see all the keys or all the values or everything all at once? Well, let's dive into how you can do just that. If you want to grab every single key from your dictionary, there's a method for that. It's called .keys. Now, pay attention to the output here. It's not just a regular list. Python calls it a dict_keys object. And this thing, which is called a view object, has a really cool superpower. And here is that superpower in action. These view objects are dynamic. You can think of them as a live open window into your dictionary. So look here. First, we get the keys. Then we go back to our original dictionary and add a totally new key-value pair, color and white. Now, here's the magic. When we look back at our keys variable, boom! The new key, color, is already in there. We didn't have to do anything. It updated itself automatically. And guess what? It works the exact same way for values. If you use the .values method, you get another one of these dynamic view objects, this time for all the values in the dictionary. And just like with .keys, if you change anything in the original dictionary, this values view will update itself in real time. It's just so efficient. Okay, so we've got keys, we've got values. What if you want both together? For that, we have the .items method. This gives you a view of everything, with each key and its value paired up together in these little packages called tuples. And this is a total game changer for when you need to loop through a dictionary because it lets you grab both the key and the value in one go. You're going to use this one a lot. So just to recap, what's so great about these view objects? Well, first, they're dynamic. They're a live window into your dictionary, always showing you what's really there. Second, they're super memory efficient. They don't make a big clunky copy of your data, they just point to the original. Which means third, they're always current. You change the dictionary, the view changes instantly. And finally, they're iterable, which is a fancy way of saying you can use them directly in a for loop, which is exactly what you usually want to do. All right, here's a little cheat sheet that pulls everything together. Think of this as your decision-making guide. The rule of thumb is this. If you know for an absolute fact that a key will be there, go ahead and use square brackets. It's simple and direct. But if there's even a tiny chance the key might be missing, use get. It's the safe, crash-proof option. And if all you need is a simple yes or no on whether a key exists, the in keyword is the fastest and cleanest way to get that answer. Okay, enough theory. Theory's great, but let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to walk through a practical example, and this is where all those pieces are going to click together for you. All right, check this out. First, we make a simple dictionary for a student. We've got a name, age, and major for Alice. Next, we need her grade, but we're not sure if it's been entered yet. So we use .get to safely ask for it, and we provide that default value n/a. So if grade isn't there, no problem. The grade variable just becomes NA. Then, we want to see if there's an email on file. We use the in keyword to check first. Hey, is email in the student dictionary? If not, we can just print a nice message saying it's not provided. No errors, just clean logic. And finally, to display everything, we use our superstar.items method in a for loop. This lets us easily grab each key and value pair and print them out neatly. See? All the tools we talked about working together. Okay, we've gone over a ton of stuff. So let's boil it all down into your new toolkit for success. These are the best practices that will seriously level up your code, making it cleaner, safer, and just more professional. Here are the big takeaways. First, just get in the habit of using .get. When in doubt, get it out. It'll save you from so many headaches. Second, for a simple check, in is your friend. It's fast and readable. Third, embrace those dynamic view objects, .keys, .values, and .items. They're efficient and perfect for loops. And finally, don't forget that you can give .get a default value. It's an elegant way to handle missing data without a fuss. And that's it. You now have a solid toolkit for getting data out of Python dictionaries. You know the simple way with square brackets, the much safer ways with .get and in, and the powerful ways to see the whole picture with .keys, .values, and .items. So now you're a pro at this. The only question is, what are you going to go build with it? Thanks so much for joining me.